Well, good morning, everybody. It is hump day. Woohoo! Woo! As the song says, woo! Woo! Wise old lady. Woo! Retro. Woo! And woo! True crime beat. Funny story. This morning, my friend Gina called when I was talking to True Crime Beat, and I told my friend Gina that True Crime Beat went to court yesterday. And she was all kinds of confused. She thought old True Crime Beat was in trouble for something, and I got quite the giggle out of that. I will tell you guys that on the backside. But again, today is hump day, and it is colder than a well digger's dick. My goodness. What is it? 35 degrees here. No. No, Brooks is not wired for that. No. But the trial of Brian Walshe is going, and his defense is so ridiculous. Nobody, even my friend Gina, would buy it. Okay, I'm telling you, nobody would buy this defense. After all this time and all the bullshit he Googled and all the things that he did under house arrest, mind you, his new defense is, yeah, I chopped her up, but it's because she died in bed with me. That didn't happen. Let's just take a second and talk about Wednesday, because we're halfway to the weekend.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
It is, and all I can think about right now is chili, beef stew, or chicken noodle soup. That's it. And I don't mean the dog food that comes out of the Campbell soup can. I mean the real stuff. So who is wearing pink? I know I am. And if you want your own, we wear pink on t-shirts Wednesday. The model does not come with it. For an extra price, I might send you the sunglasses that my husband bought for me with his Love's Truck Stop points. You have to really sweet talk me, but there is the shirt. Now, I know somebody who doesn't only wear pink every single day, not just on Wednesday, but she drives pink. And she is our friend, Kat OG.
Oh my God, I love your bracelet. Where did you get it?
Tesco's.
Why don't I know you?
Fuck knows why.
So you've actually never been to a real school before?
No, never.
You think you're really pretty.
A little bit, I suppose.
Why are you white?
What the fuck?
Could you give us some privacy for like 1 second?
What were you natter about?
We want to invite you to have lunch with us every day for the rest of the week.
Well, you can if you want. I'm probably just gonna head back.
So we'll see you tomorrow. On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
No. Not really my sort of thing.
Not really my sort of thing, she said. Okay, without further ado, I cannot do this show without giving huge props to an amazing woman and one of my best friends in the world. She runs a lot of the Facebook groups. Okay? You're not getting away with shit in there. The way she goes back and forth with those fundies in the Josh Duggar group, woo, you got to back away. She has got them trained to the point where you're probably not even allowed to tell her happy birthday in there. And look at that Nene, 31 months. 31 months, my goodness. let's take a second, tell everybody good morning, and I'm going to bring up our special guest. Well, good morning, Gaelic girl. How are you? Or afternoon for you, right? What time is it there in Ireland?
It is 3:06.
Okay, it's 9:06 here. Good to know. It'd be nice if we all had the same exact time, but I guess that wouldn't work for the sun, the clouds, and the tides in the ocean. So I've noticed a lot of movement in the Anna Walshe group. Have you seen a lot of engagement? Have you noticed any people that have reached out with their own stories or anything?
Not so much their own stories, but as the trial has gone on, we're getting more requests to join the group.
Okay.
So people can give their opinion of each day of the trial, basically, and how they feel it's going or not going, depending on whose side you're on. But it's kind of surreal defense, to say the least.
I think it's absolutely fucking stupid, you
Well,
know.
yeah.
And all of this happened right after New Year's in 2023. And Anna Walshe, who is a beautiful, beautiful woman, real estate executive. Yes, it's been
Hardworking.
that she was moving to Washington, D.C. with her children. She wanted to be away from Brian. Let's count the ways. Why would you want to be away from Brian Walshe?
His arrogance would really get me going anyway. But aside from that, he was heading to jail prior to this for federal offences. You know, when you try to fob off fake paintings, it lands you in a lot of hot water. And I think basically she'd had enough. She wanted to take her boys once he was gone to jail and move to Washington.
Yeah.
I think she was done at that point.
And it's hard to talk about Brian Walshe without talking about his mother, who was in court.
It's super creepy.
Kisses.
Blown kisses and the rosary beads thing was just, I was like, dude, there's no amount of saying the rosary is getting you out of this one. Plus, personally, I thought as a religious object, he shouldn't have been allowed to say it because if there is a juror there that is Catholic or whatever, it can influence them.
And that's the problem when you're bringing out religious symbols to a jury that's going to go, oh, but he's Catholic. And I really don't trust a lot of the justice system in that area, especially with baby fat Brian sitting there.
Yeah, it's crazy, to be honest. As they refer to it as the Commonwealth. Like, to me, the Commonwealth is something completely different, but I was informed yesterday it's old American law. I have absolutely no clue what that means, but apparently that's the definition of the Commonwealth. They use old American law.
Good luck on that, because we're one nation under God. So good luck. He can try it all he wants. And his attorney is far-reaching more than Taylor Schabusiness's attorney. Okay.
He already has earned the nickname the GOAT, not for being brilliant, needless to say. But it's just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and see if they can get anything to stick that might influence the jury. Now, currently, we're still in the cyber search stages, and to say they're horrific is an understatement. And to know that they involved a little child who also has been placed as the last person to see his mom alive.
And I cannot stand that because they had 3 beautiful little boys together. And at the time of her murder and dismemberment, and in my opinion, incineration, the boys are 2, 4, and 6 years old.
Yeah, and he's actually named. I'm not uh, doing anything wrong by saying because it's in the child's name is Thomas.
Mhm.
I feel for him because someday, and you know, the playgrounds and schools, rough place to be, but someday he will see all of this. The internet's forever. And yeah, you know, his friends will find out. Apparently at 7 he wanted a divorce from
Okay.
somebody.
Well, I mean, the little boy wasn't Googling all this stuff himself. I can tell you that for sure. And
Oh, we know that.
he knew there was tension in the kitchen, if you know what I mean. Let's take a
Oh,
look at this because this is a huge problem in every country, continent, county, city. When a woman wants to leave and they have some piece of shit like Brian Walshe, who's on house arrest for faking art. Let me tell you something right now. It's almost like a mafia that was coming after him. These
well,
people knew the difference after they took it to different places like Sotheby's and stuff like that. They knew that he didn't sell them a real Monet. It basically
well,
became a Monet.
we got
And yes, in that video, I threw in Sarah Boone's partner because we all know that old George didn't zip himself into that suitcase. So let's first start. We know that there was a murder. Okay, that's what he's on trial for. We know that his mom is crazy, crazy. We have a whole playlist. We can go through the Google searches and everything like that. I am really surprised his mom hasn't been charged as some sort of conspiracy or accomplice. What do you think about that, Denny?
I'm really surprised she wasn't brought as a hostile witness. Because it did come out yesterday that his phone is somehow linked to his mom's phone as well. So she can't have been totally unaware. Also, it's believed that it's his mom that told Brian Anna was having an affair and sent him down that track. I get the feeling she wasn't a fan of Anna, I'll put it that way, and her golden boy wasn't going down for anything as she could help with.
Well, his mother had a huge problem also. As you remember, we talked about this, before, that Anna kept a dual citizenship. So she was still a citizen of Serbia and she was a citizen of America. Well, what's that got to do with you, Home Skillet? You don't work for immigration. What are you? And what are you, an ICE agent now? Calm down.
Anna actually owned land in Serbia, which Brian was very happy to point out to the LE. So therefore, she would need her Serbian passport as well.
No. I do hope that the three boys stay with Anna's best friend as opposed to go into Serbia, and that her mom and sisters and aunts and everyone can come here to be part of their lives, because I think that's going to be their connection to their mother. And they're going to find out when they get older what happened to her. So let's get to this horrid, horrid defense first. This is from CBS Boston.
Walshe vanished. Her husband's defense team claimed today that she died suddenly in the family home and that her husband panicked. The defense offered this new explanation.
Yeah.
That's the defense's statement. She died suddenly in the home and he panicked. Okay, so he panicked between January 1st and January 4th.
Yeah. He had a very long panic attack, we'll put it that way. And I mean, of course, it would be unreasonable if you found your partner in that condition to pick up the phone and dial 911, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what is he? Is he the Candace Wells of Massachusetts now? I mean, when someone's dying or dead around us, we do other things as opposed to call the authorities. I would be freaked out.
Yeah, I think most normal people would be grabbing their phone and dialing 911 in an absolute panic fit. Not the fit that Brian was in, obviously.
But what did he do? He went to the Home Depot after researching hacksaws and how to clean up blood and went to the Home Depot. Makes sense to me. Not.
And also, his children were unaware that their mother's dead body was upstairs in the house for a period of time.
Well, the prosecution is saying that he beat her to death.
Yeah.
And that has to do with the blood splatter. They're not going to find Anna's body because Brian also knew that picking up garbage in his neighborhood would go to the landfill, but he knew at his mother's apartment complex, the dumpsters would get incinerated.
Yeah. And that's why he searched for a specific type of garbage bag. Not your regular, everyday, usual garbage bag. He searched for a specific type that wouldn't, how would I put it? The smell wouldn't be as intense, we'll put it that way. And the garbage removal men wouldn't notice, or anyone wouldn't have noticed. And sadly, it seems Anna's body did go to the incinerator. At this point, it seems the only logical explanation based on where he dumped.
He even Googled if someone's incinerated, do their teeth remain? I mean, really?
Yeah. He wanted to know, can someone be identified just by their teeth?
Well, yeah, no shit they can. No shit they can.
Yeah, exactly.
No shit they can. But I mean, incineration is incineration. It's basically the same thing as cremation, only it's free by the county. As you remember, back in 2023, he was arrested January 18th of 2023. It came out in the news reports that the police were there and they were trying to stop the incineration, but it was too late.
Yeah.
Well, they had every reason to be there. And his mom, knowing that suddenly Brian, who is out, even though he was on house arrest, was using her dumpster with huge contractor bags, she should have called the police immediately. Let's go back to this. His mom should have caught a charge.
During today's opening statements,
Yep.
as WBZ's Penny Commit shows us.
He never thought anybody would believe that Anna Walsh was alive 1 minute and dead the next.
An elaborate cover-up to protect his 3 children. That's how defense attorneys explained Brian Walsh's actions following his wife's death. The defense claims that Anna Walsh died suddenly in the couple's bedroom on New Year's Day 2023 after hosting a friend for dinner, and that Walsh found her body and panicked.
You will hear evidence in this case of sudden, unexplained death.
The defense wasted no time addressing Walsh's 2 recent admissions that he improperly disposed of Anna's body and misled the police investigation into her disappearance.
What would happen to their 3 boys?
Defense is telling us, is previewing for us that Brian Walsh is going to testify.
While a defendant testifying in their own trial is rare, legal analyst Jennifer Roman says it may be the only way to give credibility to the defense's theory.
The only person who can testify to what happened from the moment those people, their friends, left the house to when, Brian Walsh is claiming he found his wife dead is Brian Walsh.
Use your common sense. Don't leave it home.
But prosecutors say Walsh knew of his wife's alleged affair and planned to kill her after she missed Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve, pointing to disturbing searches made on their son's iPad.
It's surgery. Best way to dispose of body parts after a murder.
Then,
New Year's Eve, but everything was fine.
Walsh's interviews with Cohasset Police Sergeant Harrison Schmidt in the days following Anna's disappearance, where he maintained the lie that Anna left home for a work emergency and never came back.
He's been having to cut back on family time, and it's been difficult for all of us.
Testimony will pick back up tomorrow morning with that same Cohasset Police Sergeant.
No, that shit didn't happen.
No. And believe me, if you heard the live videos that Ellie played, he actually contradicts himself quite a bit in them. Quite a bit. I mean, he claims first Anna went to bed before him and he stayed downstairs to do some cleanup. And then he followed, but then again, he woke back up and decided he'd go back downstairs and do more cleanup. Whereas his attorney is claiming that basically he just walked into the room and found her dead.
Just found her dead. Even when it's first say that she rolled out of bed dead. How can you roll out of bed dead? I want to say hello to Michael McAllister, 3379. Who is new here, new on this case, and it's nice to meet you too. Welcome.
Yeah, no, she didn't roll anywhere. He was well aware of the condition she was in, and like I said, unlike normal people, obviously the thought dialing 911 and getting an EMT was not in the question, not even a thought in his mind. Odd behavior.
No, beyond odd behavior. I agree with you 100%, Denny, because I'll tell you something right now. He knew he was on house arrest, but he had a lot of very, very, very busy errands to do. A lot of errands. And he was at the Home Depot, probably the same one that, well, I'm just going to say the same chain. No offense to Home Depot, okay? I like Home Depot better than Lowe's. I'm a big Tony Stewart fan. I hate when the Home Depot's brought up because, Adam Montgomery went there too.
And the funny thing is, actually this morning, the thing about trash bags, there was a search about the trash bag killer, but the judge has told the jury to not, that it's been struck, because he actually searched about the trash bag killer. It was one of the searches on the iPad. Just, you coincidentally find someone dead and you go search a trash bag killer. Now, if things are different, I'd say, yes, you would find, like, Google searches for Adam Montgomery, etc. in my phone, but my spouse didn't die beside me while I'm Googling this stuff,
Or before, but he seemed to be very preoccupied about how to get life insurance if your spouse is just missing. He wanted to know if he had any sort of real estate rights in Serbia. He had a lot of questions. Now, let's face it, he was already in a heap of trouble from these art dealers to the point he wasn't allowed to leave his house, was not allowed to leave. But when Anna supposedly is found dead, he goes to the Home Depot, buys a hacksaw,
the
apartments to see his mom because she was sick. But he fails to mention that he was putting in construction contractor bags into his mom's dumpster, each weighing 40 to 50 pounds apiece.
Exactly.
Well, this is what they found in January of 2023. Bloody towels, hacksaws, you name it.
Brought out of the Cohasset home where missing mom Anna Walshe and her family live just a day after investigators said they wrapped up their search for evidence there. Evidence that included the discovery of blood and a bloody knife in the basement. New video obtained by NBC 10 Boston shows Brian Walshe just one day after his wife was last seen on security cameras at Press Juice Bar in Norwell. Meanwhile, the NBC 10 investigators have learned a hacksaw and bloody towels were found during the search of the transfer station in Peabody and the dumpsters at the Swampscott apartment complex where Brian Walsh's mother lives.
The circumstantial evidence that I see on the news, it's terrifying because I'm a optimistic person, and I still have some hope that perhaps there is a terrible misunderstanding.
Friends who know Anna Walshe from Sky International events like this 2021 Gatsby Gala say despite...
Listen, I get that she's hopeful. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. If your old buddy Brooks, if something happened around here and they saw my Google searches, I'd be up shit creek without a paddle, okay? I Google all kinds of crazy things. These were very specific to the time and the date and the issues in his marriage. I am not one of those people that thinks it's okay to cheat on your spouse or to jump in the frying pan, while the fire's still going.
Exactly, but nobody...
in this case, I kind of get it.
Yeah. I mean, if everybody that was cheated on murdered their spouse, the courts would be in backlog.
Hell, there'd be a line from Tulsa to Austin right now. They'd all be lined up. Are you kidding me? No. But the catalyst, in my opinion, and it's going to come out in court, really has nothing to do with her being unfaithful.
No, he didn't seem to particularly mind because he was reading her text messages.
He knew. I think it had to do with her taking the money away because he needed the money more than he needed her.
Oh, exactly. And he did bring that up, that through her job, etc., she would have at times had large amounts of money on her person. I assume he was trying to lead investigators onto the thing, that she actually got her flight, she went to work, and maybe somebody got her because she was carrying a large amount of money. With the fake flight that never was. And as we all know, he's not the one that reported her missing.
It said volumes to me in 2023, listen to me rhyming, when her boss, a colleague, reported her missing. Okay, because this person knew that he had plans with Anna, and he also had other plans going on. So he knew she was missing. We'll get to that in a second because the voicemail from Brian to her colleague is pretty intriguing.
The grim discoveries, they're still holding out hope Anna is alive.
I'm a mother, as I said, and she has 3 kids, and my heart just goes out to her, just goes out to the family. We are ready to help the family in any way. We're still praying and hoping that Anna is well.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
What to do. Now, here's a blast from the past. I'm going to go ahead and play the Back to the Future music because you're going to see me from 2 years ago. Okay.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit. What's this? What's this?
All right, we're going back in time. We're going to 2023 when Denny and I talked about this voicemail and how Brian had a big obsession with the shampoo Head and Shoulders. Have we figured out why? Is he just a flaky motherfucker? I mean, why was he so obsessed with it?
Yeah, I'm really not sure. All I can assume is it's a brand he likes himself. He certainly seems fond of his hair, particularly at the moment. Very nicely styled. Looks like the modicum of a great dad and businessman right now in court.
He had a fanny pack where he actually kept a travel size thing of Head and Shoulders in the fanny pack, almost like he was using it as hair gel.
Yeah. There is I don't know if that was his thing, but some people swear that if you use it like that, it eradicates dandruff that way as well. I'm not sure if that's ever been proven, but it's Brian, and with his mind, anything's possible.
Well, I can say this. I mean, we're coming upon Christmas. I mean, he would be an easy dude to buy for, right? I mean, my gosh. I mean, how much is Shoulders at Amazon right now? You can get a whole shitload of it, right?
Yeah, I'd even get him the larger size one. You know, the ones that come out at Christmas? The bigger size ones?
Oh, yeah. You
I have a feeling he may need it.
You soap it all up. Come on, soap it all up.
No need for a rope or a soap on a rope, just the Head and Shoulders and soap away.
No, not for his precious head and shoulders.
Yeah. That is
Good afternoon, guys. I hope your day is going great. Okay, this is a couple of years ago when Brooks was going to Planet Fitness, and I hadn't started using the tanning bed yet. So anyhow, we have an update on Anna Walshe. I know there's a lot of talk about when are they going to put murder charges on Brian. You're going to hear in this clip, it's just an opinion of an attorney that says there's no hurry. He's not going anywhere. Well, also what's not going anywhere is a lot of facts that are coming out and evidence left and right, all pointing towards our buddy Head and Shoulders. I understand that is a nickname of Brian's, Head and Shoulders. Why do people, I mean, they call him Head and Shoulders. He's obsessed with the fucking shampoo. Explain it to me, Denny.
I really can't. I must start using it myself. I don't have dandruff, but I might just try it out to see does it do something, you know, spectacular to my hair. But,
I know that some women shave with it because, it prevents razor burn.
Well,
A lot of people, they have dandruff, psoriasis. Oh, look where I paused it, Denny. Look on the screen. Huh. PT driver, look at my O face. Okay.
You finally caught yourself in an O face.
PT driver.
Oh, he deserves a round of applause for that. Definitely.
I mean, I'm a Selsun Blue person myself, okay? If you really want to get rid of flaky scalp or tea tree oil, but he was a big fan of Head and Shoulders. I don't even know what to say about all that. Anyhow, it comes out that the police log shows that Brian, big surprise, was not concerned about his wife's whereabouts at all. Before you hear this clip, let's refresh our memories as to his voicemail he left for Anna's employer. Then when you see this clip, you'll see how everything really went down. He is full of it. Listen to this voice clip, and then we're going to get to this clip.
Wednesday, the same day, Anna was reported missing to police.
Good afternoon. It's Brian Walshe. I hope all is going well. I was just reaching out to basically everybody I could. Anna hasn't been in touch for a few days. Do you know anyone that might have had contact with her? Calling everyone. So sorry to bother you. I'm sure everything's fine.
Okay. 2023 Brooks still has the same look on her face as 2025 Brooks does. Kind of freaking me out seeing me a long time ago or 2 years ago. I'm sure everything is fine is what he said. Well, he's not the one that called the police. He's calling the person that did call the police.
Exactly. He didn't want any police sniffing around, and only, as we pointed out before, Anna's co-worker and raised the red flag. She was a dedicated worker. She didn't miss work. Basically she was supporting the family at this point because obviously Brian couldn't go to work. He was under house arrest. So,
and she was stuck with him. She's married to him. He not only didn't want to work. He was a scammer at work.
In that phone call, he just reminds me of the type of person that would try to sell sand in a desert. He's just so full of his own self-importance.
And that is how some people are. We've seen it, in a lot of these cases. I can go through them one by one, where, they get in their head. Chris Watts, and I hate Watts Island.
Yeah.
They think they're better than what they really are. Their self-importance, and as much as I hate the word narcissism, gets the best of them. And when they see their spouse, their wife, their partner, the love of their life, whatever you want to call them, doing much better and outshining them, guess what? You got a target on your back.
Oh, yeah. That was, I believe, a huge issue. Anna was making a success of her career. And, basically, he was looking at federal prison. I would imagine. There is, though his name isn't mentioned, but Ellie have said it was Brian as far back as 2014 in Washington. Anna lodged a complaint where he threatened to kill her. She didn't specifically name him, but Ellie have confirmed that it was him she was alluding to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there on the internet for anyone to find.
And they can find it in the group. If anybody wants to put the group in, the Anna Walsh, Denny has done great work in there.
And if you get to hear the opening video, when he describes the breaks in their relationships, the times he and Anna split up, the years, it tallies up, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time he came back to Mama.
You know, that mom of his is a real piece of work. She reminds me of Chris Watts' mom. She reminds me of Scott Peterson's mom. She reminds me of Brian Laundrie's mom. She reminds me of a lot of these mothers that have this, oh, my little boy couldn't.
Oh no, he was the golden boy. Interesting, none of his siblings have shown up for court, just Mom.
And she's blowing him kisses. What a freaking weirdo.
Yep. Blowing him kisses.
Blowing him kisses.
Yep. You would have to see.
My sons would do if I blew him a kiss. Hell, next thing you know, Stephen Stern's mother, I mean, she's already sending him root beer barrels and Michael Crichton books and everything. Goodness. If I blew one of my kids a kiss, they'd be like, the hell you doing?
Yeah, my own son in his 30s wouldn't be appreciative of it either. He'd probably think, okay, now she's finally lost it. It's time to step in here and do something about her.
I am really shocked in that courtroom. They're letting him use any sort of religious symbols.
Yeah, as I said, on the first day, it was very prominent, wrapped around his head. It seemed like he was actually saying a rosary. I have my doubts he'd know how to do that. Unless in prison, like many, he's found religion and is now Catholic. But yeah, I'm sorry, there's no amount of rosaries getting him out of this mess he's in. Especially not with the defense he's going with. With there being no body, how can you claim? Well, sudden adult death is actually the term used here. And there's no body to prove it.
No, it's been incinerated.
Yep.
Sorry to bother you. I'm sure everything's fine. Now let's look at how it really went down. Now, first in this clip, you're going to hear the opinion of a local, I believe he's a local attorney. It is very, very interesting. He has a lot of great points. But the police log part is what we really need to look at. Give it a like if you don't mind. It really helps us with YouTube. And please leave me a comment. I always want to know what you guys are thinking. I think we're on the same page here. Brian is sketch, sketch, sketch. Head and shoulders.
Else tonight in the disappearance of a Cohasset mother of three. Police
logs show the timing of when this disappearance was first reported. It has been 2 weeks since Anna Walsh has been seen. Boston 25 News reporter Drew Cleet is live in Cohasset tonight. Drew, you also spoke with a seasoned attorney about what investigators could be working on right now behind the scenes.
Carrie, he suspects that investigators are working around the clock to tie up loose ends in the case against Brian Walsh as they wait for DNA results from the state crime lab. As you just mentioned, a police log we're seeing here at the Cohasset Police Department says it was Anna Walsh's employer who first contacted him to ask about her whereabouts and called police before he did.
This is the type of case where people are very interested in what happened to her.
As we enter another week without answers in the disappearance of Cohasset mother Anna Walsh, seasoned Massachusetts attorney Philip Tracy suspects that authorities are getting closer to forming a rock-solid case against husband Brian Walsh.
Obvious to the public and to lawyers like myself doesn't mean proof beyond a reasonable doubt. You can never be premature in the processing of a case like this, where we are missing a body.
He says the processing of evidence at the state crime lab can take weeks, if not longer. So far, investigators say they found blood and a knife with blood on it in the basement of the Walshes' rental home. Our sources have also told us that police found a hacksaw and a rug believed to contain biological evidence at a Peabody transfer station.
The public wants to know right away, but they can't know it until it's proven, until it's boxed together.
A Cohasset police log obtained by Boston 25 News is shedding new light on how the investigation first got started. It says a call requesting a well-being check was made on January 4th by a man who identified himself as the head of security at Anna Walsh's employer in D.C., Tishman Speyer. The log says Tishman Speyer contacted husband Brian Walshe before he reported his wife missing. It explains that he told police Anna left for D.C. and he hadn't heard from her since. According to the log, Anna's phone last pinged on January 2nd at 3:14 a.m. in Cohasset and hit the tower on Reservoir Road in Cohasset, less than a mile from the family's home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, her phone pinged January 2nd at 3:14 a.m. The phone ping was in Cohasset where they rented a huge house. I couldn't imagine renting a house that huge. I mean, if you're going to rent a house. You know, you're going to buy a house, you buy a house that big. They were paying bukus, big bucks the lease for that house.
Believe it's an over $1 million mansion they were renting.
And you know why? Because he had to have the outward appearance of someone that sells art.
Exactly. And to be fair, what he was involved in, there are some nasty people that wouldn't have appreciated his moves. He was aware of that as well.
Well, I mean, all those Chinese art dealers wanted to kill him.
Yeah, basically.
And I really hope it comes out in trial. Was Anna going to become a state's witness for the case with the art dealers or not?
I hope it does come out. I know in the interview, like I said, he did mention, straight. Well, obviously, I'm assuming Ellie knew he was involved in a mess up anyway before they went to the house, but she was horrified by what he had done. He actually admitted that himself. Horrified.
Well, there's no shame in his game. He didn't want her to go away because he needed his lifestyle. He really thought that he was going to get done with this house arrest and get back to selling false art.
Exactly. I don't believe he even thought or thinks he would serve any time in prison for this art fraud. And there's, I believe, I'm not certain, $80,000 restitution on that as well.
I'm telling you, girlfriend. Whew. I think he started moving her body with her phone on January 2nd. And then it took till the 4th for everything to really come down.
Yeah, I get the feeling just from the interview at trial, Ellie weren't buying a lot of what he was selling. Everything was too over-explained and going into details that were of no benefit to the questions they were asking. So I think at that stage, possibly, or even the second interview, he knew they were starting to look back at him.
Seems to me it didn't take him too long. The Google searches alone, which he thought he was being slick, came from his son's pad.
Yes, which was synced to a MacBook. So the witness said yesterday. So everything, even done on the MacBook, would show up on his son's iPad.
And I'm telling you something right now, the boy was not researching how to get life insurance if your spouse is missing, how to sell property in Serbia, how to, I mean, think of all the Google search.
I highly doubt he was on I'm not sure what way to word this, adult website for 7 minutes on a chat.
No.
Either?
No. Yeah, I don't think he was, porn sites, things like that. What is he now? 8 years old, and he's trying to say that the son was doing all that. Get real.
Well, he was planning for his divorce at 8.
Retro said giving extraneous info to Ellie is a big red flag. Yeah.
Oh, there are huge amounts of it in just the 2 interrogations that were played. He even contradicts himself in between both. I will go back and find the timestamp. Or at one point he says, Anna was in brilliant spirits and she signed this wine box, and on that New Year's Eve. I assume because they had guests, she may have been putting up a front. That may be true but not true, if you get what I mean. But yeah, he also said, Anna didn't indulge much in alcohol because she was very much into her fitness. So, did she drink a bottle of wine and sign it? I don't know.
Did he drug her? We'll never know because her body has been incinerated.
Yeah.
He knew taking those contractor bags, a little here and a little there, to his mom's dumpster at the apartment. He knew those dumpsters would be incinerated. He knew that the collection, not to call Anna garbage or trash, the trash collection at his house, he knew would go to the landfill. Nobody goes to another person's place to throw away garbage. No one does. Unless you eat like a sandwich on the way and like you throw the wrapper into someone's trash. We're talking about massive amounts of trash. He was on camera. All kinds of stuff. But he was so stupid, and he is stupid. He left.
With the rug that had DNA and blood on it. There is a slight issue this morning. The photo the ADA wanted to submit into evidence actually came off a video, so they can actually place the rug in the Walshe home, because obviously it wasn't there when police got there. But it came off a video. But the judge, and I think rightly so, said she couldn't accept that particular photo from the video because the children were in it. So the ADA has to go back and re-crop it. I was a bit surprised by that because I can go into photo editor and I'm no genius at anything like that. I know how to dub out things. But the judge wouldn't accept the photograph today because of the children. Anna was playing with her little boys on the rug in this video.
That was missing. So the ages of 2, 4, and 6. Bleach switches, he used peroxide, he used ammonia. They could smell it when they came in the house. Has anyone ever gone to someone's house and they've been cleaning? They've been cleaning.
I mean, I don't know if you're thinking of building a bomb, but even once, could you use peroxide and bleach together?
Mm-hmm.
And would it stain his floors?
And he was more worried about the wood floors than anything.
Yeah, basically. Would it stain his wood floors?
Home.
He's not getting out. He's not going anywhere. So there's no rush to them to say, we got to get him or he's going to escape the jurisdiction. That's not going to happen. He's already on a pre-trial probation with the federal government, who will take control of his body if he ever made the $500,000.
And Brian Walshe is locked up on that $500,000 cash bail on a charge of misleading a police investigation and has not been charged with harming his wife. Details in that police log we just told you about contradict previous reports that Brian Walshe and Tishman Speyer simultaneously reported Anna missing, and that Brian Walshe contacted Tishman Speyer about his missing wife. We're live in Cohasset. Drew Caritas for your local station, Boston.
Yeah, there was no rush because they knew they had him dead to nuts. Michael has a question. You can answer this, Denny. What are the dates on, it's not Brian's computer, but his son's computer, looking up how to dismember a body? Now, what I saw from CBS Boston a couple of years ago, he started Googling this before New Year's. Did you see something different?
Yeah, it is that way. Also, they only had a search warrant for specific dates up to the 7th of January and just before the 25th of December. They couldn't go to any other data on his phone according to the search warrant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which was at his insistence, obviously. Tipton did raise the question yesterday to the cyber, why is his name gonna have my head? I was only looking at it for the whole day. You know, why when you saw these searches, did you not go back and ask for an additional warrant to go back further? And the answer he gave was, at that time, they had no probable cause.
Well, the probable cause would be that Anna is missing. I do understand it's a big difference when an adult is missing. Considering she has a horrible marriage, and I mean a horrible marriage, okay?
A horrible marriage, but somebody that had a routine with work, was very, very consistent and rarely broke from her routine. If she was going to be in Washington for XYZ working, she was there. If she was in Serbia to see her sick mum, which she did get to do before she died, bless her, that's where she was. She was kind of a creature of, I suppose, if you say a habit, but she was genuinely working to keep that family in, I suppose, I would say, the upkeep they're accustomed to, but I don't even mean that, but to keep the home running. Electricity bills,
Everything, the rent, the food. I mean, their food alone was $2,200 a month. You know why?
Yeah.
Because fucking fat ass was sitting there with his ankle monitor, not allowed to leave the house. All he could do was eat. Now we're all eating in here right now because guess what? Our girl Sophia is making it rain. Thank you so much for that. And a lot of people have questions about how do you get DNA out of the incinerator?
You really can't.
Millions of pounds of trash.
You
Yeah.
really can't. It's like, as you said before, if a body is cremated, there's no way of telling whose body that is unless you saw it going into be cremated.
Yeah, this isn't exactly what I would call cremation. I mean, she was incinerated. Now, this is one of the incinerators that area uses. They go on a boat to New York and do it. Hop, skip, and a jump, if you want to know the truth. They're really close together.
This is just 3 days worth of trash, most coming from New York City. And that claw is taking it to be burned into electricity. But we're not actually in New York City. We're in Jersey.
Once the garbage man comes and picks it up, you don't think any more about it. But it has a long way to go after that.
None of New Yorkers' waste is processed in the city. Instead, it ends up as far away as Ohio, Pennsylvania, and even South Carolina. So getting trash from here to here takes thousands of workers, trucks, trains, cranes, and even barges, operating nonstop to ship waste across the East Coast.
Rain, snow, hail, storm, there's no stopping us.
And it all costs the city hundreds of millions. Here's what actually happens to New York City's 3.2 million tons of trash a year. New York City's Department of Sanitation sends its fleet of 2,000 garbage trucks to start picking up at 5 a.m.
You have to keep active. Some guys like to work out, some guys don't. Basically, it depends on you.
What do you do?
Me? I don't work out. This is my workout. This is my daily workout.
That's Frank, a 23-year veteran sanitation worker.
Well, you get immune to the smell. You don't smell garbage, you smell money. Checking to see how solid it is. You can tell when the truck is full.
Frank heads to the dump station in the Upper East Side. By then, the sun's coming up.
We are currently at 91st Street MTS. Doors will open as the truck comes in, and there's radiation detectors that will read the truck.
Trucks pause at the weigh station to help the city keep track of how much trash New Yorkers produce. Then handles tilt the hopper.
Then she'll push the blade, and the blade will push the material all the way out to clear the whole truck. It's roughly 450 to 600 tons a day.
Tractors move.
Okay, so with all of this going on, no pun intended, all of this trash going on, no wonder when the police got the warrant to stop the incineration, they were like, too late, too late, too late.
Oh. It's heartbreaking to think that's where 3 little boys' mom wound up. Sadly, it was too late.
I think Sophia fell on the members button. Woo! Everyone, get your umbrellas.
Is now in charge. He gets the go-ahead for a 9:30 a.m. departure.
What you see here is called Hell's Gate. This is the upper end of the East River. Tides play a major factor in the times that we can transfer barges.
You can't go against the tide when it's max tide. It's too strong. We would actually come to a dead stop on this boat and barge. You wait until you can go with it.
Quite often a barge gets filled up and we will have to wait 2, 3, maybe 4 hours before the tide is in the favor.
He navigates this heavy load safely along one of the busiest waterways in the world, down the East River, through New York Harbor to Staten Island. 3 hours later, the tug and barge back up into the global transfer station.
It is an inherently dangerous operation to move heavy equipment overhead.
Then a train takes it to one of Covanta's waste-to-energy facilities. It can also get there via truck. All of Manhattan's residential trash goes to waste-energy facilities like this one to be burned and turned into electricity. This facility processes up to 1 million tons of waste annually.
Once the trucks scale in and come up to the tipping floor, they dump in front of one of these bays.
Tractors push the trash into a massive storage pit, 93 feet deep and 270 feet long.
Between 8,000 and 9,000 tons are in the refuse pit. It's about 3 to 4 days worth of trash.
A giant grapple claw descends over the trash. In one swoop, it can pick up as much as one trash truck carries. The claw builds a wall of trash to prevent it from avalanching onto the tipping floor. It also helps to make more space for incoming refuse.
Do you look at garbage a very different way since I've been working here?
I kind of feel dirty. Don't all of you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and then from there it goes to the incinerator.
For now, New York City's only choice is to keep exporting the trash. But ultimately, the department says the best solution would be getting New Yorkers to waste less altogether.
Trash is like one of those things that you put it outside and forget about it. I think everybody should know what happens to what they get rid of. If you know where it's going and you don't like where it's going, maybe you'll find ways to recycle things.
I would never take anything home because my wife wouldn't allow it. But there'll be a but there. If I see something that's Star Wars, I'm going to look for it and if it's good, I'm going to take it home.
Okay, and then it goes to the incinerator. Now, at one point, Brian and Anna actually did have a good marriage. I mean, they were using the internet like their bit. They had marriage videos. They had self-help videos. They had a lot of stuff going on. It's when he showed his true colors, that he's not an art dealer, he's an art scammer, that stuff went way downhill.
Yeah, I mean, like he said himself, she was totally in shock, disappointed, disgusted when he got in trouble for the art dealing. You know, and I have a sense, I know this sounds odd, but the children were running around in the videos of his interviews saying choice language. I'm not going to say exactly what, but I would say there was quite a bit of verbal abuse going on as well by the end.
You better believe it. And those poor babies heard every single bit of it.
Hearing in Brian Walsh's murder trial has been canceled. It was set for this Friday. It's unclear if that will impact the start of the trial, which is slated for next week. A refresher here, Walsh is accused of murdering his wife, Anna, at their home in Cohasset and dismembering her body. Actually, in a new episode of our podcast that we're doing on the case, it's called The Searches for Anna Walsh. It gives you a glimpse into their lives. We actually found this video. This is from a virtual fundraiser that was organized by a professional development group that they were a part of, which Brian cited as an example of his supposed fresh start after he pleaded guilty to federal charges in an art fraud scheme. At one point, in this moment right here, the video shows Anna give Brian a kiss on the cheek when he finishes speaking to that group.
Yeah, this, I believe, was this new company he was trying to set up.
Yeah, his art fraud. Exactly. His art fraud.
Yeah.
She had no idea. I don't think she had any idea that he was frauding people with art.
She didn't. And there is a phone call, actually. It's on YouTube, but it's in the group too. I believe I shared it there, where one of the people he defrauded actually called her looking for money, and the lady is absolutely stunned, and you know, she was even being targeted because of what he had done.
Hey, there you go, piece of shit.
Which is not that the person was, being totally vindictive towards her, but he was looking for money that Brian had obviously said he had sent to this guy, but he hadn't, and Anna had no idea about this money.
He had pretty much a good scheme going on. Basically, people would make a deposit, and the deposit was impressive. What's the word? Impressive. Okay.
Yeah.
And they found out that the art he was selling wasn't what he said it was.
It
Then
had
they
no margin.
back. But here's the whole thing. They never got their money back. Now, some of
No.
the he sold were authentic. They were authentic. But they're going to
Yeah.
wind up finding out there's no way he could broker those deals.
No. Absolutely not. And
Video shows Anna give Brian a kiss on the cheek when he finishes speaking to that group. You can see more of this video right now if you're interested in this case. NBCBoston.com to get the story of the.
And some people will go as far as to say, and I hate victim blamers because let's face it, Anna is dead. Okay. Anna she's dead. She was chopped up. She was dismembered. The Home Depot receipts are as long as a CVS receipt. Okay. I'm talking from my hip to the floor. What really pisses me off is when people say, oh, but she was in on it too. I think she was about to turn state's witness.
I believe so. I truly believe so. I mean, I believe one of the things he did actually say to Ellie was, oh, I consider divorce to save our assets. You know, that if he did go down for the art fraud, Anna would have something. So he was obviously planning ahead to that point anyway.
She wasn't in trouble for scamming people with real estate. She was making bukus of money, enough to keep them above board, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe she was kind of hoping that he would turn this around and get into legitimate art dealing.
Well, you know, she had 3 little kids. I mean, up to the point of him being arrested for the art fraud, she thought she had a good marriage and her husband was on the level.
Why not?
Yeah.
A family friend who was at the New Year's Eve party the night before her disappearance says he didn't see any signs that anything was wrong. He's only speaking to WBZ's Julie McDonald, who's live for us in Cohasset tonight. Julie?
Well, David, the husband and wife hosted Mu3der for that New Year's Eve celebration. They cooked, they laughed, they played with the couple's children. He describes an evening here at their home that was completely happy and normal.
And this is the night that she suddenly, unexplainably died. Come on now.
Yeah. This is the night that she apparently went to bed and
didn't wake up. And he found her dead and decided to go to Home Depot instead of calling 911. No.
Now, this friend, Jem, actually met Anna through Brian. He knew the husband first. They've been friends for years. And despite that long friendship, he had suspicions prior to Brian's arrest that there may have been foul play.
The whole thing is a tragedy, Julie. The whole thing is a tragedy. It's a tragedy. There are, in the words of a friend, there are no winners in this story.
It has been agony without Anna, the days stretching into more than a week since the beloved mother, wife, sister, friend, and daughter has been seen.
We're in absolute shock and disbelief as to
Mu3der may have been the very last friend to hug Anna before she disappeared. He'd been hosted by the Cohasset husband and wife just hours before.
Brian had cooked an elaborate meal for us, and we hugged and celebrated and toasted and just what you do over New Year's. And there was a lot of looking forward to the new year.
A new year now plagued with worry and fear for her safety.
Both Anna and Brian have been individually and together very impactful on my life. A part of me had this suspicion all along that there may have been foul play and that somehow just the story wasn't adding up.
Okay, and we will see this guy in the trial because he's certainly going to be called as a witness as to what was going on the night before. Brian cooks an elaborate dinner for everyone. Everyone's having a great time. I mean, we're talking over the top. We're talking lobster. We're talking steak. We're talking prime rib. We're talking potatoes au gratin. We're talking the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And she suddenly dies. No, nobody else died.
And I like, I'm not going to say I like, but I find it very interesting that someone who knew Brian first would come out and say he sensed something wasn't adding up. You know, he wasn't buying the story Brian was selling, even though he'd known him for years. And that in itself is very telling.
Absolutely, it is.
Those painful suspicions confirmed when Brian Walshe was arrested for misleading investigators. With a mother missing and a husband in handcuffs, Friends' laser focus is on 3 precious boys.
My biggest fear had shifted towards the children. I wondered if the children were safe.
The Walshe sons are physically safe, and despite frightening details presented in court, Anna Walsh's loved ones pray and plead and cling to a possibility of a mother returning to her sweet sons who need her.
Believe it or not, I still have a modicum of hope that somehow I think you got it.
Now, that is not the friend that is raising the boys. It's a very, very nice woman. I don't really want to put her out here because some people seem to have an issue with her. Do you know why they would have an issue with her raising her best friend's children?
I can't think of any, obviously the lady would have had to go through certain checks, whatever, before the boys would have been placed in her care. So Anna doesn't have any family in the country.
No.
For the boys to go to. Her mum is ill, and obviously nobody wants to send 3 little boys to Serbia. I really don't see what the problem is. The boys were placed there. There have been no issues, and I'm going to say they're as happy as they can be under the circumstances. I mean, their mom is missing and their dad's in jail. As little kids, they're the 2 people you look up to, you look for. And now it's just a big void in their lives. And sadly, they're going to have to contend with the fact that it's their dad that got rid of their mom. I mean, to even place the child as the last person to see Anna is, and to come around and say, oh, what type of car did she get into? And the little kid said, oh, I couldn't see the car. Allegedly, as this is coming from Brian, although the children were obviously taken in and questioned as children would be in cases like this because they were in the home.
They're in the home. And thank goodness that her best friend stepped up and said, I'm going to take the boys.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and I'm also happy
obviously,
that her best friend keeps that crazy crackpot of a mother, which is Brian's mother, away. She needs to be nowhere near those boys. She didn't give a shit about them in the first place. All she cares about is Brian. She didn't care about her other kids either. If they're
no.
they're doing good. Her focus has always been Brian. Good, bad, indifferent. She would never believe that he could do anything wrong. I mean, goodness. I mean, look at him. Just look at him.
Yeah. His arrogance, his self-importance, his I'm the golden child just screams off him. And definitely with his mom. I mean, the blowing kisses is one thing, but she's sitting there in the court looking at him like he's a king.
Well, and the thing is, he knows better. He knows dollars and cents. He knows what he's doing is not providing for a family. He knew all of it. But instead, he scammed his way. And when he got to the end of his rope, he killed him. And that's why he's on trial. Now, how do you think this is going to play out with this new defense that she was just dead and he's just going to take the dismemberment charge?
So far, with what the prosecution has presented, I don't think any logical person would take his story, and to really make his story stick, I feel like he would have to take the stand.
Well, they're drumming up for that. They're saying he is going to take the stand, and this is going to be another Murdaugh where he's going to sit there and he's going to try to convince the jury, and it's going to fall real flat. At least I hope. Fingers crossed.
Well, that is my hope, and that there's justice for all that. You know, unfortunately, the jury are not aware of the 2 counts he has pled guilty to on the opening day of the trial. So they're unaware of that. He hasn't been charged with that. I believe the maximum is 10 years for misleading the police and 4 for conveying a body.
Well, I think what they're trying for is time served. He'd be out in 2 years. Nobody going to believe this story. The burden of evidence is with the prosecution. So they're going to have to come out with a lot of stuff. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do it or not. It's probably one of the most ridiculous, yes, interesting defenses I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. I mean, it's very telling that, you know, can you claim life insurance if your wife is missing? Can you divorce your wife if she's missing? You know, all these things were in the searches as well. So, plus he tried to log into Anna's credit cards. You know,
so he could go to Home Depot and buy stuff to hack her up and put her in contractor bags.
I mean, so far what prosecution is presenting is, I feel, quite good. I know where Tipton was going with, you know, why didn't you go get another warrant to search the devices? I mean, he's trying anything he can to make the spaghetti stick, you know, on the walls. But I think myself, the type of searches are something that no jury could get out of their mind. And nobody that's in a panic mode because their wife suddenly died would be sitting down 2 hours later starting to search things like how to get rid of a body, how to dismember a body, and actually watch a YouTube video on something like that.
Right.
So I think so far the evidence they're presenting, if you're rational thinking, you're like, no, he wasn't panicking. He was sitting there, buying himself time. He didn't even report his wife missing.
Nope. And he knew from January 1st to the 4th what he was doing. He had 4 days to work on this. 4 days to do what he was doing. He is disgusting. And the book's already been thrown at him, but I hope they beat him over the head with it. So, again, thank you so much for all your research you have done on this case. And let's again look at this video about, sometimes people are not safe at home.